Right now, I'm in a little bit of shock and disbelief. But it also reinforces my belief that the Bible is 100% real. 100%. The part of contention and disbelief is that prophecy is unfolding right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Trump just bombed 3 nuclear reactors. He just attacked Iran. And I mean, he did it in the most shrewd, callous way possible. He told everybody that, look, he's going to make his decision in 2 weeks. And then, boom, he blindsided them. Now, we got to talk about what this means for America. What does this mean for the US of A? What is about to transpire is something that the world is not ready for. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to see the news here.
Happening in the Iran-Israel war, and Donald Trump has just put out a message on his social media post saying that the United States has carried out airstrikes on all 3 nuclear sites in Iran. We'll get Donald Trump's social media post in just a bit, but this is what the American president is now announcing to the world, that the United States has carried out a very successful attack on the nuclear sites in Iran, which includes the facilities of Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. Remember, this was something that was being speculated upon even until a few minutes back. Donald Trump had just said only time will tell in his previous social media post just some moments back. But this is his latest social media post where he's now announcing airstrikes on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, which includes Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to keep in mind that prophetically, biblically speaking, the Persian Empire, the Medes, they will be riled up by the Most High to carry out judgment on Babylon. And now we have an initial strike coming from Babylon, coming from America. Now, what happens next is other countries are going to get involved. I'm already telling y'all how this is going to go down. There's a lot about to take place. Well, a lot of those people in Israel, they're going to pay the consequence, as well as Americans will pay the consequences, because now it's a full-blown war. And Iran has allies too. All right? So you're going to see a lot of people get involved. There's going to be mass migrations taking place. There's going to be a lot of people going back to their homeland. And there's going to be other people migrating, especially from Israel. And they're going to be going to other European countries. This is going to get wild. And prices of goods, particularly oil, oh yeah, gas is about to go sky high. But anyway, let's go.
The American president further said that all planes are now outside the Iranian airspace. This is his precise social media post on Truth Social, and I quote him here: "We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran's airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo, and all planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention.
When they scream peace, the Bible says, know that sudden judgment come. Know that anarchy and chaos break free. Ladies and gentlemen, this won't be peace as an outcome. This is going to be war, a full-blown war. America sit as a harlot, claiming that she can't be judged. Ladies and gentlemen, America is not going to keep being able to jump in other people's quorums and issues and think that it's not going to fall from the inside out. Look, the Bible is jumping off the pages right now. And you know, you got a lot of blind people who are cheering on war, not even understanding that it's going to affect them negatively. It's going to affect the whole country. There's going to end up being a draft and much more. All we can do is stay prayed up at this point, because in full-blown nuclear fallout, there ain't nothing we can do anyway. But let me say this. Now, of course, when we talk about Iran striking back to America, it is nearly impossible. Now, notice I said it's nearly impossible. Bree, where are you getting at? What do you mean? Ain't Iran going to judge Babylon? Hear me out, ladies and gentlemen. Hear me out. Iran has allies. If Iran wanted to send a missile over here, right? More than likely that would be intercepted. More than likely it would be intercepted. Why? Because look, they got to go across the Red Sea. They got to go across the whole Western hemisphere to even get a nuke or a bomb over here. So what is going to happen? What actually is going to happen here? If we're looking at the scriptures, this initial attack right here is the beginning of World War III. And they do have sleeper cells. They have sleeper cells, as well as they have allies. And if they do have these weapons of mass destruction, then they've already been moved to where they need to be moved. And Gog and Magog is a threat. If they already have these weapons, trust and believe they're safe and secure. Now, remember the threat that Iranian president gave. He said if America attacks, there will be irreparable damage. Now we get to see, is Iran going to live up to that threat?
To this matter. So there are several important things that stand out here. He has said that the attack was successful. It has been completed where 3 nuclear stations, nuclear facilities of Iran at Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan have been bombed by the Americans. He also went on to reiterate a full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary sites. Fordo, all planes are now safely on their way home. Congratulations to our American warrior. There's not another military in the world that could have done this. And here,
Iran is about to really cook up something. Now, we're talking about a country that specializes in asymmetrical warfare. We're talking about a country that specializes in guerrilla warfare. And they also have the ability to be unpredictable. That's who we're going to go to war with. They couldn't beat Genghis Khan. The Romans couldn't even beat Iraq. We didn't win the war in Iraq, but you want to go against Iran in war? Man, I totally disagree with what the president did. I totally disagree. David Book says, Iran, you scared of Iran. Now you're being ridiculous. You think what you want to think, David. But first and foremost, let it be known, I ain't got no fear. There's no fear. Listen, at the end, they all going to blow each other off the map. That just means we free. That's what type of time I'm on. I don't care what they do. I know that there's a lot of Trumpsters and Americanas in here, right? Let me be very clear about this. Iran is loaded with hypersonic missiles. Iran has a lot more than you believe they do. Iran has already destroyed the steel dome in Israel. A dome that's not supposed to be destroyed. Iran destroyed it. Are you not looking what's going on? Those hypersonic missiles, they are faster than the speed of sound. All of that time where we were in Iraq, we didn't beat Iraq. We had to withdraw. Why? Because you cannot beat these people in war. And the Bible validates that too, because these are people who can't be bought and sold. And these are also people who believe in martyrdom, meaning they don't mind eliminating themselves if that means taking you out. They believe they get 10 virgins in heaven if they take you out. This is who you think America should be at war with right now? That's right. Iran is the size of Europe. A wake up consciousness knows. And you're talking about a country full of people who believe in martyrdom. No. This is not a war that America should want right now when America is still going through civil unrest. When America is still suffering with inflation due to the damn trade, the tariff trade war. We just came from a tariff war. Now you want to go to an actual war? Come on now.
Is the critical part. Now is the time for peace, says Donald Trump, all in caps. So is it now time for peace, or is this just the beginning of America's involvement in what could potentially be a long, drawn-out war?
Yep, I'm going to go with the latter. This is now bringing America into the war. This is not going to bring peace. Matter of fact, somebody put the scripture in the chat where it says, when they say peace, peace, know that calamity come next. Somebody put that scripture in the chat if you can, if I have a moderator present. Because this ain't going to bring peace. This is only going to bring more war. Share the actual scripture. Thank you.
On Iran, along with the Israelis. And our correspondent Susan Tehrani, of course, is joining us with more updates on this. Susan, what?
Let's read that. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and there shall be no escape. The first thing Donald Trump said after bombing Iran, unprovoked, by the way, Iran was bombed unprovoked, based on a notion that they have nuclear capabilities, and they refuse to they refuse to disarm in the face of someone who's telling them they want to destroy him anyway. So they bombed them unprovoked. And now he wants to scream peace. The first thing Donald Trump says is, all right, now we got peace. Let's go.
What's the latest on the story?
Well, Mohammed, as you noted, social media sites and news websites are blowing up with this post by President Donald Trump. The attack, it came on the ninth of that war between Israel and Iran. And there is no doubt that it could provoke retaliation from Tehran against U.S. troops and military installations across the region. We know that the U.S. military now conducted airstrikes on those nuclear facilities in Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. Remember, Natanz also had an underground section that the Israelis had a very hard time getting to. This decision to intervene directly in support of Israel's effort to dismantle Iran's nuclear program really marks a historic escalation.
I want to make something very clear. America always wanted to bomb Iran. They always wanted to smoke. They just use Israel to pretty much get it popping. It's like You know your little brother ready to pop off, so you send them to go do something, and then you the one who respond. It's like, yeah, go slap him in the back of the head right there. And then when they looking around for who slapped him, then I'm gonna sidetrack them and blind them, because you got to think about it. Historically, they've been trying to go at Iran. That's why they went at Iraq. They were just kind of nestling closer and closer. They was just trying to get closer and closer. It was inevitable. It was inevitable that they would bomb Iran eventually. Telling you.
In the Middle East at this point. It's an intervention fraught with risks, uncertainty, but it's one that President Trump decided to do and reached the conclusion that it is now or never. We anticipated something was going to happen this weekend, considering the fact that the U.S.
I want to answer the brother's question. Do you think Iran should have nuclear capabilities? That's what Sean Perkins asked me. Sean, do you think America should have nuclear capabilities, since America is the only country that actually used a nuclear weapon on anyone? You know, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So the question should be, should the people who actually use them, should they have access to them? Once you can answer that question, then I can answer yours.
Air carriers are already in the region right now, the Nimitz, the other ones, and also...
Okay, Sean, that's a great answer. He said, personally, I don't think anyone should. I agree. Because nuclear weapons take out whole countries. But guess what? If I'm allowed to have one, shouldn't you be allowed to have one, Sean? If I have the right to keep my Second Amendment, and you have your right to keep your Second Amendment, shouldn't we both have those rights? Because that makes us even. That puts us on an even playing field. So what you have is a situation with America trying to disarm someone who is their enemy. And, can you blame a country for not wanting to disarm? That leaves them vulnerable. Let's go.
Because President Trump yesterday cut his trip short from New Jersey, and we saw in his press statement that he sends out to the media, the White House sends out to the media, that he was going to meet with his national security team at the Oval Office at 6 p.m. local time in Washington, D.C. So once we knew that he's going to make this trip back, there was anticipation that something was going to happen. Something is going on.
Wow. And Trump played him. I mean, he really pulled a business move. He said, look, I got to make my decision in 2 weeks. And then he abruptly decided to strike. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. Elon Musk just had an explosion, a NASA explosion. Not a NASA explosion, a SpaceX, pardon me. And he posts on his social media, it's just a scratch. And of course, him and Donald Trump are feuding right now. And since they're feuding, that was actually a subliminal message to Donald Trump saying that, hey, this just a scratch. This little explosion right here, this just a scratch. When you deal with Iran, you don't know what's going to happen. Knowing that Trump has to make a tough decision. And so I want y'all to understand, as American citizens, the possibility of a great loss of life and destruction is very much possible because of this attack. Very much possible. So don't think that there's not a potential threat to America. America is already pretty much destabilized because of all of the civil unrest that we have going on already in a country of people who are pretty much exhausted. Let's go.
Indeed, something was going on, because this is what Donald Trump had put out in his social media post a little while back, where when he was asked what will happen, he had said that only time will tell. And then half an hour, 1 hour later, he'd of course put out this social media post of his, confirming that the attack was a very successful one, which targeted 3 of the Iranian nuclear facilities of Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan.
Now, the question is, did they get the actual nuclear reactor? Because if you bomb, and I don't know, maybe my observation is off. I want to ask y'all a question. If you bomb a nuclear facility and a reactor doesn't go off, is it safe to say that we don't know if they actually got the right sites? Something to ponder on, right? Did they actually confiscate a nuclear reactor? Did they actually confiscate a nuclear weapon? Or is it very possible that if they did have a nuclear weapon, it's been moved already? I mean, that's just something to consider. How could Donald Trump confidently say that there'll be peace now? We bombed a few sites. There will now be peace. Peace upon the earth. No. War only escalates more war. This is not going to bring peace. Iran made it clear they're not bowing down.
All planes are now outside the Iranian airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo, and all planes are now safely on their way.
Oh, yeah. Somebody says in the chat, a rapture is about to happen. That actually is going to bring me to a source. I see that MAGA's running around screaming that a rapture is going to happen. Let me make this clear. There's no such thing as a rapture. Just because you didn't watch a Left Behind movie, you got to understand that that's science fiction. The Bible says he who endures to the end, the same should be saved. We're not just going to disappear. No, we got to endure to the end. So I know MAGA's like, oh man, the rapture has to happen. And then, then the war is going to keep happening. No. We're going to be living, seeing war. We are living through World War III. This is just the beginning of it. And ain't nobody going to snatch you out of cloud to stop it. So the best thing we could do is prepare for the times that we in. Stay prayed up. Stay around like-minded people. Get away from desperate, demonic, evil people. And understand that in times of war, the world changes. There will be certain parameters set up in America. There will be, certain tolls. The Bible says a man will want to go to one city from the next, but can't. Prices go up, gas go up, travel restrictions. These are all the things that happen during war. More surveillance. Let's go.
Home, congratulations to our great American warriors. There's not another military in the world that could have done this. And now is the time for peace, says the American president.
He's talking about now it's time for peace. What the Bible say? When they say peace, peace, sudden destruction shall come. You bombing a country ain't going to cause peace. Let's go.
Susan, there was a lot of speculation that was rife. There were these B-2 bombers that had taken off from the Missouri Air Base and were headed to Guam. A lot of people were saying that probably these could have been deployed for carrying out an attack, but that clearly looks like a decoy because no one publicizes the manner in which these military assets are moved, expecting that they would be involved in the attack. At this moment, has any information come out yet as to how this attack was effected?
We're going to get more information right now.
Job 5:20, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Now, I don't know if somebody posted that to say that that's the rapture, but let me make it clear what it's talking about. That's talking about the return of Christ. That's not talking about people just floating up into the sky. That's not talking about that. That's not talking about people just disappearing off the face of the earth. In case you're new to the platform, this is a biblical-based channel. I follow the scriptures and I read them as they are. All right? So let me be very much clear about that. The Jesuits are the ones who injected that rapture nonsense. And they did it through a doctrine called dispensationalism. And that's when they tried to chronologically break down what's going to happen prophetically. And really what it's designed to do is get you to accept the mark of the beast. Because you'll say to yourself, well, if the world didn't end, that means this can't be the mark of the beast because I'm supposed to disappear first. No, we have to endure this life until Christ returns.
This is the initial news that we got from President Trump. Of course, he wanted to keep U.S. troops safe. He, as you mentioned, is really the master at not revealing his cards. Although we reported on Rion, it was anticipated that 2-week window that he gave just seemed too far-fetched, considering the situation Iran and Israel were in right now. And
yeah, Trump pulled a fast one. He said, look, I'm going to give y'all 2 weeks. He gave them a false sense of security, and I believe he bombed 2 days later. And this is day 9 of the war. And when this first started off, America claimed they wasn't going to get involved. Now look at it. And if you go back to my initial video, I told you that America was going to inherit this war. I told you. Now we're not even going to really hear about Israel versus Iran. This is now a war between Iran and America. Jody Breeze, thank you for the support, says the U.S. more than likely bombed Iran's missile station and not nuclear sites. Israel needed them destroyed because Iran was shooting missiles 24/7. Yes, they were. They tore up the Iron Dome. They were sending hypersonic missiles like they was running out of style. I mean, they are totally obliterating Israel's infrastructure. And what y'all got to understand about Iran, they're not going to stop fighting until this is over. They're not going to cower and put their tail between their legs. They're going to fight even if that means that Iran is no longer on the map. They're going to fight because they understand what's happening prophetically too. They know what their purpose is. That's why they're willing to die for it. That's why they're willing to die for it. Let's go.
And the urgency that Israel and the United States were displaying about Iran's nuclear capabilities. And so, we'll figure out soon enough, and we'll know soon enough what military equipment and bombers.
Hey, Geraldo, I'm seeing you put a lot of people on timeout. And you putting them on timeout for a long time. I'm not even seeing what their messages are. So I don't know if you're doing this on purpose. Matter of fact, yeah, you're timing out people for no reason. What's going on, Geraldo? I'm viewing some of the messages. Is your phone in your pocket? What's going on with you, brother? I'm seeing people get timed out left and right for a long time, too. I don't know what's happening with you, bro. These a lot of these people viewing are new to the channel, and we do not take their freedom of speech over here. All right, let's go.
And aircraft were used, but I think it's very important to note that the United States was able to go over Iranian airspace the way that it did, the manner that it did, and possibly because the Iranians just simply don't control their airspace right now. It's under the control of Israel. And I think that's what made it, so undetectable and so possible so fast.
Right. Now, we need to, of course, see as to how the Iranians, of course, respond to this. They could respond in a number of different ways, saying that although the Americans claim that they've struck the sites, maybe they may not have suffered the damage to the extent that the Americans are claiming. Or the Iranians could, of course, respond militarily, because they've said that attacking their nuclear facilities is a clear red line, and any nation that aids the Israelis in the war they started with Operation Rising Lion will also become a legitimate target. So this is the United States of America jumping up.
Now let's break this down. Let me read Trump's message that he posted on X. We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Escalation. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped in the primary site 4 all planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, I don't understand how no military could have flew some planes and dropped some bombs. I don't understand that. But if we, the American people, believe that peace will come out of this, we are sadly mistaken. Somebody said in the chat, the sleeper cells have awakened. You just got involved with something that had nothing to do with you. And there's consequences for that. Why is America always filibustering from what we should actually be doing? Why are they always getting involved with other people's foreign issues? We don't have it right in America. Can everybody agree with that? All my Trump supporters, all my MAGA supporters, could you agree that we are going through enough in America? We don't need another draft. We don't need another war. We don't need to be at odds with the country that controls 30% of the oil. We don't need this. Could you all agree with it? Just look at the depression that we're in. We are in a great depression. Stock market crashing. Groceries sky high. Gas sky high. Housing market destroyed. Civil unrest. We got riots going on in major cities. Do you really believe that Trump made the right decision? Do you really believe there was a threat of a nuclear warhead coming over here to America? Do y'all really believe that? Or is America doing the same thing they've been doing? And that's bullying. That is disarming other countries, whether it be for natural resources or it just be for prime real estate. America is not ready for another a war. We already in enough turmoil as it is. Now, I want to make this very clear. How do I say this? Well, let me just jump right in. I do believe that some of what we see is set up by the elite. And what I mean by that is, yes, there's biblical prophecy transpiring, but the elite also forge certain things that take place, which means you cannot believe everything you see, because they would take a prophetic situation, manipulate it in order to embrace or bring about some type of change. It could be a false Messiah movement. It can be some type of regime change that they want, so they forge information. You can't even believe everything the news is saying. That's the crazy part. You don't know what's true and what's false these days. But one thing we do know is we're living in a time of uncertainty. And it's very important that we get our minds right and repent and live a lifestyle that's righteous, because tomorrow's not promised today. Let's go.
Jumping into this war in a very formal manner, the American president says that the airstrikes have been successful. 3 nuclear sites have been targeted, but there's something interesting that he's saying. Now is the time for peace. How are we to interpret this, Susan? Is this the American president now saying that, listen, we've carried out the attacks that we wanted to, and we don't want to fight anymore? What are we to make of this?
That's like if somebody punch you in your mouth and say, all right, I want peace now. I don't even want to fight. Don't hit me back. Look, I just punched you in your face. Now let's be peaceful.
Perhaps, but I do want to say we're just getting word right now, Mohammed, and I think we'll get a better understanding of what he means and what direction the United States is going to move towards moving forward.
3 minutes ago, we had breaking news. Israel-Iran war, all about lockheads. Okay, never mind. That was 3 minutes ago, but let's go. I see some other stuff we got to cover.
He's expected to address the nation at 9 p.m. That's right. In about 50 minutes time.
Okay, so Trump will be addressing the nation very soon, and we're going to see what Trump has to say.
In about 16 minutes time, we'll of course hear from the American president. We need...
And that was an hour ago, so it should be active right here on this channel here.
To wait and watch and listen to what the American president now has to say, because we still do not know. This is a very precarious moment. This is a moment where everything stands on a knife's edge. It's difficult to predict as to how things will unfold from here. Remember, bombing nuclear facilities is never a good option to resort to. But this...
Do you hear that? Bombing nuclear facilities are never a good option to resort to. I want to know, for all my soldiers out here, all those who know war, if I'm not mistaken, if you bomb a nuclear facility, isn't the bomb supposed to go off? Somebody talk to me. If you bomb a nuclear facility, wouldn't the thing go off? Like, is that far-fetched? Pamela says yes. I mean, I want an actual soldier. You would think so, right? Do I have any actual military personnel, any warriors? Matter of fact, I will look it up. Wouldn't it be radioactive fallout? That's why I say I don't believe everything I see, because look, first and foremost, Iran is huge. Iran is humongous. How do they know they hit the right spots? And why wouldn't it explode? And if they did have a nuclear weapon in there and it exploded, guess what? Iran is pretty close to Israel. Israel would be affected. Iran is so huge, and it's not that far off from Israel. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna Google that. I'm gonna Google it or whatever. I'm gonna look that up. Look that up. As a matter of fact, one of y'all can look it up and put it in the chat. Let me know what it says. Y'all go ahead and look it up for me.
This is what the American president says that the American military has done, and now we need to wait for the Iranian response.
Somebody said Iran is far from Israel. It's not far enough where it wouldn't affect a nuclear warhead. It wouldn't affect. It would have still hit it with fallout.
We also need to wait for the Israeli reaction.
I don't think you understand how far nuclear fallout goes.
I'm pretty sure Benjamin Netanyahu, who had been exhorting Donald Trump to get involved, will have something to say on these. These are developments that are happening pretty thick and fast, and we need to wait and watch as to...
Yeah, it's just the assumption that we're going to have peace after this. But look, let me pull up something real quick. Let me pull up something, because Trump, he clearly addressed the nation. Yes, it's live right now. This is breaking news, man.
Wix gives you the...
Look, welcome to Nubreed Global Truth. If y'all just joining, man, double tap the screen to get the likes up. So Trump has just bombed Iran. He had 3 nuclear facilities, and now he's addressing the nation outside of the tweet he made proclaiming the attack. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to really promote some change in the world for the worse. You know, there's war is imminent, and I'm telling y'all right now, it's going to get bad from here. I just got to be real with y'all. But, you know, for God's people, we're going to be freed through all of it. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and turn this around. I know y'all ready for the video. Trump addresses the nation. Allow us to proceed
into this conflict. A spokesperson also warned that
it's prophecy, but fear not. Fear not.
Israel's 9-day bombing campaign continues, saying the Islamic Republic would not halt its...
Teddy Graham says Iran backs the Houthi rebels in Yemen, and most of the smoke shops on the southeast are ran by Yemenis. Could be likely that the sleeper cells are here too. Interesting. Interesting.
Nuclear program under any circumstances.
Hold on, where Trump at? He's live. He addressed the nation. Let me.
Fleeing to safe.
Here we go. I think it's right here.
The Iranian regime stays in place. So these are some of the things that are on their minds as come to terms with what fire, so this war is ultimately over. Now, are the Iranians are they going to drink the poison again?
Talk to Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and we have some news saying in that Israel is now in high alert.
So Israel is in high alert right now. Somebody said he speaks in 30 minutes. Thank you. So I'm like, oh, you mean we got to wait 30 minutes for him to speak? All right. Yeah, we're not going to wait 30 minutes, but I definitely will be doing another breakdown when he responds. Somebody say, yes, he goes live in 20 minutes. Okay. All right. 10 p.m. news conference. Okay. Okay. I mean, look, it's really going down. I do want to pull up more updates. So y'all give me that moment to chess. I'm a little bit shocked. I want to say I'm in disbelief, but it's like a disbelief, like it's almost like the type of disbelief of, man, this really happening like that. Now, not shocked that it's happened, but shocked at the timing. Like, man, nobody's ready for it. Nobody's ready for it. Let's see. Trump announces attack on Iran. Man, this is crazy.
We're coming on the air at this hour because we have breaking news. President Trump has just announced on social media that the U.S. has just completed 3 successful attacks on 3 nuclear sites in Iran. This is the post that he put out just a short time ago. We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now out.
Yeah, Real 80 says the reactors were hit, not the missiles. That stops their ability from creating the nuke. All right, thank you for that clarity right there. Because I'm thinking that they're trying to hit sites that have the nukes. But no, that makes sense. You need a nuclear reactor to send to be able to use the nuke. So now, right now, we looking at it is, the question is, will it be other allies that get involved in this war that's going on? And what does the future hold? Will there be peace because of what Donald Trump did, right? Will that make peace, or will it be more war is the question. And ladies and gentlemen, you have the right to vote. You have freedom of speech over here. What say you? I personally believe that this is going to escalate, and it's going to be other countries involved. And it'll be a long, drawn-out war. By show of ones, you agree. By show of twos, nah, Breed. America big dog status. America got rid of them. It is what it is. On to the next one. And feel free to, speak how you feel, truthfully. All right. All right, I see Brian. He put a 2. I see a lot more ones. That means, you know what? When we agree, that means something. When we all in agreement like this, that means we all feel the same thing. You see that? That means, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Holy Spirit. We feel what's happening here. Out of all you brothers and sisters, I only seen 2 2s. Wow. 3. I see 3 now. Wow. Somebody said I give it 48 hours. Sheesh. King Connect says America's in trouble. I believe it is. Now, I don't know how they're going to do it. First of all, we got to understand that Iran is very far from America. Like, the physical capability to send a nuke over here is virtually impossible. Our airspace would intercept a missile. So the question would be, well, I'm not going to say that with a nuke. A nuke is a whole nother situation. Anybody can fly a plane with a nuke and do whatever. A sleeper cell can do that. But when it comes to those hypersonic missiles and all of that, that's an issue. So Real 80s is right. I see him in the chat. He says they will hit us. They will hit U.S. bases first. First, they have to, right? That's what will have to happen. It ain't going to just be a straight up nuke dropping. They will have to hit. They would definitely have to hit those bases first. And I actually believe some bases are going to get hit. And more than likely, if you're looking at a map, geographically, it will be something on the West Coast. It would be something on the West Coast. A base in California, Los Angeles, somewhere. And hey, look, the West Coast done been through a lot, bro. Yo, the West Coast done been through a lot. Or yeah, somewhere in Colorado somewhere. If I'm guessing, that would be the next thing to happen. Now, mark my words, y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first. The first thing that will have to happen is a West Coast military base gets bombed, get hit with a missile. That's how it starts. But anyway, let's go.
Outside of Iran airspace, a full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home.
Dennis says Camp Paddington would be first. Man. You heard what Dennis said. I don't know. Dennis could be right. Dennis could be right. Like, the American people did not sign up for this. We don't want this. We didn't ask for this. We only speculate in what can transpire. Let's go.
Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That statement from President Trump right there, if you remember, he gave a 2-week deadline for him to consider whether or not he was going to use those bunker.
Somebody says, why not any other place? Why the West Coast? Because we're speaking geographically here. The angle which Iran is, that will be the closest place. So we're not saying that just because, I'm trying to target a specific state. All I'm saying is on the West Coast, that would be the closest point. That would be the closest point to hit. That's all. All right, let's go.
Busting bombs on that Iranian nuclear site. And now the president making that decision tonight and following through. Let's go ahead and bring in our Rachel Scott, our White House correspondent, who's been following all of this very closely. Rachel, we know that the president was meeting with his national security team tonight, and it seems like they had big plans and followed through.
This comes after a series of meetings that the president has had with his national security team in the situation.
Somebody asked me a question, says, should we move out of America, Breed? The short answer is yes, we should. Now, we don't all have the capability or resources to move out of America right now, but not just because of what's going on should we leave, but because the quality of living is horrible here. And to want a better life and a brighter future, you should want to leave America. But I'm not saying that you should want to leave because of this situation. The key words is World War III. So, Babylon will be judged, but the Most High also will deliver his people. So anything that we do is going to be not out of haste, but it's going to be led by the Holy Spirit. And I believe, according to the Bible, it will be a mass exodus. Our people would be having a mass exodus out of here, and we will be living to tell about our escape from the Babylonian captivity. But until then, only thing we could do is live according to God's plan and purpose and do right. Jordan Anthony, thank you for the support. Says America has been so free and open to foreigners without checking the front door for real, for real. And when Babylon is destroyed, it'll be from within, I believe. That's true. That's why we keep on talking about sleeper cells. You know, over the last few terms, presidential terms, you know, there's been little to no border control. So we don't even know who the hell's over here working with the ops. We don't know what's going on. And so, yes, this is I think it is a pretty bad decision for what Trump did. I think it's not a good idea. But let's go.
Room in which the president was really mulling over this decision of whether the United States should get directly involved. I will tell you, the president really warming up to this idea, especially over the last several days. I spoke to him by phone just 1 week ago. At that point, he told me that it's possible that the United States could get it right now. Now the realm of is still looking for an approach. I'm for Ron.
Oh, damn. They done sent a damn interruption to her line.
Come to this make a...
You'll forgive me if we could pause for a moment because we're having some trouble with your cell phone reception. We'll try to come back to you in just a minute there. I'm being told that we do have someone else on the phone with us. Molly, could you repeat that? General Abrams is joining us now on the phone. General, obviously this news is just coming in. We knew this is something that the president was considering. He was meeting with his top national security officials tonight. But he did give that 2-week time period that he was going to consider all of this. What do you think changed?
Well, with it, I think, first off, I think the president preserved all options. And by putting a 2-week timeline on, he probably intentionally gave the Iranians sort of a feel that they had time to sort of gather themselves and gather their defense.
Man, listen, they had, the Iranians had enough warning. If they were trying to hide anything, you know, they been did it. They been knew America was involved and they knew America was a part of the war. They knew that from the beginning. I mean, if we have to go listen to what the Iranian president was saying, he like, look, we already know without a shot of a doubt y'all involved. And y'all asking us to surrender and we not scared. He said we not scared. So there will be a retaliation. Listen, mark my words. There will be some sort of retaliation. And double tap your screen, get the likes up. Because this is some very paramount information that you're getting right now. Only on Nubreed Global Truth, where you get this type of dialect. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We speak about all facets of society, mental, we do motivation, we speak spiritually, we talk about politics. We are very analytical on this side. So make sure you subscribe. Let's go.
Which really provided an opportunity for our Air Force crews, our air crews, to have the element of surprise. And so they were able to get in and get out, as reported by the president, safely, which we're all very thankful for. And we're going to have to wait a couple of days to see how much success they had.
All right, General, thank you so much. We'll try to check back with you in just a moment, but I do want to get to our Ian panel, who's been following all of this very closely. Ian, I believe you are still there on the ground in Israel. What can you tell us about what you're learning?
Ladies and gentlemen, if we can get the likes to 1,000, I will sit around and I will wait. I'll keep giving you this fire dialect, and I will wait until Donald Trump addresses the nation, and we can cover that, because I am definitely waiting for that. And if I have any moderators in the chat, I would like y'all to notify me in the chat once Donald Trump is going live addressing what he just did, because we definitely need to dissect that. Let's go.
Yeah, this is a major event. I mean, we have been speaking to Israeli officials over the last few days, and they were certainly making it clear to us that this 2-week window that had been set up by President Trump was unrealistic. One official said to me, without agreeing to...
Joseph is right. He said the fuse is lit. The fuse is lit. And if I have any war, veterans, all you brothers and sisters, all of you who are former military, let me know what's happening, man. Are there soldiers being dispatched? Because one thing we don't one thing we definitely don't want is a ground war with Iran, because that's what they specialize in. But let me know what's happening. What's happening with y'all's family? Let's talk about it. Let's go.
To be quoted, they felt that it was going to be much quicker than that. Remember, they have hit a number of facilities across Iran. It's now 10 days since the first bombs were dropped by Israel on Iran. But the difficulty was this one particular facility at Fordo. It's buried deep inside a mountain, and it was felt that Israel, in fact...
Living humbly, thank you for the support, said, dang, it's over for America. Prophecy never fails, right? And this is what I want people to understand. Prophecy must come true. We're never given a chronological timeline on when things will happen. But we do know that we are definitely in the final hour. We know that prophetically Iran would be into this war with the Western world, and really it's going to be the Western hemisphere versus the Eastern. We knew that the battle of Armageddon, the Megiddo, that's happening. We calling it World War III, but really what this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is the beginning of Armageddon. Scripturally, all of the Gentiles are going to meet up in the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's what's happening right now. Why? Because they're about to give over leadership to God's people. So when we talk about this, we're not coming in the auspice of fear. We know that when this all ends, brothers and sisters, we got next. And I'm talking about God's people. God's people have next when this is done. So we're not over here afraid. We're rejoicing in the fact that the scriptures are jumping off the page. And it's reality. And I know some of you all may not be into the Bible. Some of y'all may not be religious folks. Neither am I. You cannot call yourself a scholar or a historian if you ain't read the Bible. If you don't know the Bible, there's no real scholar or historian if you haven't read the Bible. Anyway, let's go.
No other nation would have the necessary ordnance nor the aircraft capable of carrying out a mission that would be capable of destroying that. Now, we have to wait and see a bomb damage assessment, see how successful it's been. Nevertheless, we were reporting and we're hearing that U.S. stealth bombers had been moved closer to the area, to Diego Garcia, which is it's owned by Mauritius. It's got a British base there, and that has been the base in the Indian Ocean that would allow American bombers to be within much closer striking distance to Iran. And as the president has said, it looks like the U.S. bombers have taken place. So as we were reporting again, it was the likely the B-2 stealth bombers, which is the only...
Yeah, that's probably what they were. They used those B-2 stealth bombers because that's the only thing that can really hit those underground nuclear reactors. And I think that's the reason why they needed America to get involved. But let's continue.
Bomber in the world that's capable of carrying these MOPs, these massive ordnance projectiles, these very heavy bombs.
And let me ask y'all something. How many of y'all watching this stream right now are afraid? By show of twos. And how many of you all are grateful by show of ones that prophecy is unfolding and it validates the word of God? All right, I see the ones. Nobody's afraid. Nobody's afraid. So if I'm fear mongering, I'm doing a horrible job. I'm doing a horrible job. Because it seems like to me that the people are grateful that the information is coming out because it verifies scripture. Very interesting. And for all you people who like to call creators fear mongers, you must like horror movies. You must be obsessed with horror movies. You know, it's just, it's the hypocrisy for me. The only type of fear that we should have is fear of the Most High, because he can judge. And guess what? Guess what else? The fear of the Most High is the beginning of all wisdom. When you fear God, that brings you wisdom. And in order to fear God, that means you got to keep his words. You got to be obedient to him. Yeah, they love some horror movies. How are you going to go see the first Exorcist movie every day? Saying, you know what? This movie's scary. But you keep watching it. Hey, worship the real Father Yah. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Anyway, let's go.
What makes them specific is they're able to dig into the ground. In other words, they don't explode the second they touch the ground. They physically dig down into the land and then detonate.
Yo, Dennis says, bro, you suck at fear mongering. Right, because none of my audience are actually scared, but that's what they say. Well, really, we just talking prophetically. We talking about what's going on scripturally. You know, and, you know, we are supposed to be watchmen. We are supposed to keep the world aware of what's happening. 14 minutes until Trump. Oh, you know, we in here. We live. We're going to stay in until Trump address the nation. But ladies and gentlemen, we got to get those likes up over 1,000. If you're enjoying the conversation, if it's stimulating thought, then that means I'm doing my job. Right? So double tap, get the likes up.
And because the depth of Fordo was so deep, it was felt that this was needed. Now, Israeli officials had been making clear to me that if President Trump decided not to act or delayed his decision, that they would act anyway. And we have to wait and hear from Israeli officials what their role in this is. It is possible, of course, that this would be a one-off strike. I think that's less likely. It could be part of a complex of military action, not necessarily all strikes, perhaps something on the ground. There've been intelligence gathering about this facility. I mean, Israeli officials have been telling us that they're very upbeat, that they feel they've been enormously successful so far.
I don't know why they believe that. The Iron Dome got taken out by hypersonic missiles. Israel been getting ripped to shreds, honestly. If America didn't get involved, listen, if America didn't get involved, this war already be over. And Israel would have lost. But it ain't over. It's just beginning. This is just the beginning, folks. Let's see. Let's go.
Already set back Iran's nuclear energy production. Of course, the Israelis in particular, and certainly President Trump, were concerned that their production of highly enriched uranium had got to this point, to 60% of production, that it could very easily then be transferred into weapons-grade uranium. And that was something that the International Atomic Energy Agency, an independent UN agency, had said was...
Linda says, will Trump be shared in this platform? Yes, I'm going to share the Trump video. I mean, his addressing the nation very soon. It's like a matter of minutes. So just be patient. We're going to get to it. Everybody, I want the likes over 1,000. And yes, and we can get to that.
The situation that Iran had basically doubled its production of this material, and Israel had seen that as...
Hey, listen, Iran is definitely, you know, trying to get a nuclear weapon if they don't already have it. That's definitely what it is, because they want to be equal on the world stage. You know, this world is not under a dictatorship. What gives the Roman Empire, because that's what America is, that's what the Europeans are, the Roman Empire, what gives them the right to pretty much tell people in the world what they can and can't have in their own country? It's supposed to be respect among people. Kid Life, thank you for the support, says, thanks for always keeping us informed and standing on truth. W Stream. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yes, Miss Hertz AM says 11 minutes till Trump addresses the nation. And you getting it here live and direct, brothers and sisters. And you're going to get an organic reaction. Let's go.
An existential threat that, having dealt with the other so-called enemies in the neighborhood, dealt with Hamas, dealt with Hezbollah in Lebanon, in Syria, you've had a change of regime, that it was actually Iran was the one remaining piece of the puzzle. And in order to ensure the safety of the state of Israel, then they had to be sure that Iran was no longer capable of being within weeks of producing potentially weapons-grade uranium. Now, we know that the U.S. intelligence community, this has been a dispute between the president and his own director of national intelligence and the intelligence community, whether Iran had the intent to make a nuclear weapon. No one's seen any evidence to say that was the case. The issue is that they had the capability, and the judgment in an intelligence and political way was too much. So what we know from the president is that there has been this bombing run. The president described it as successful. It has hit a number of sites, including Fordo, this uranium facility, which was a hidden facility up until a few years ago. It was actually President Obama who announced to the world the existence of this. And there's always been concern that
they always are gatekeeping this weaponry, right? And with the war in Iraq, it was under the notion that there was a weapon of mass destruction. Who knows why they're making this uranium? It could be for other reasons as well. But I mean, look, maybe they're afraid of getting blown off the map. Everybody else got a nuclear weapon. But Trump said Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And Iran said, we ain't scared. Do what y'all gonna do. They must be ready. They must be ready. Ladies and gentlemen, Iran has that nuke. It just poured in my spirit. They got it. They got it. Ain't no way that Iranian president said what he said, that it would be irreparable damage unless they know something. Ain't no way. I believe they're ready. We can vote on that, y'all. How many of y'all believe Iran ready? Show a one. Show a twos. Nah. Trump weeded it out before it happened. Second Chronicles 15:6. And nation was destroyed of nation, and city of city, and God did vex them with all adversity. Yep, and the scriptures also say that Babylon will fall in a day. Somebody said Iran bluffing, but I see a lot more ones, though. Hey, there's a scripture where it talks about nuclear fallout in Babylon. But it doesn't say it directly, but it talks about this place ending in fire in one day. Interesting. So, Real 80 says, Bree, did you know Iran had a 5.2 earthquake yesterday? No. Now, that's colossal. That's a huge earthquake. That is interesting. Could something have shooken underground because of it? I don't know, because that happened before the attack. Man, that is interesting. That is very possible that America used some type of weather modification, because they do have the tech. It's very possible that they used some weather modification and shifted those tectonic plates. It's very possible. That's very possible. Yeah, weather warfare is real, man. That is very real.
Even though there were agreements with Iran in place for a while, they were torn up by President Trump. The JCPOA, this nuclear a treaty which basically meant that Iran was not supposed to enrich uranium up to a certain amount and certainly wasn't supposed to use it for nefarious purposes, that actually the reality on the ground was that Iran was not abiding, at least by the spirit, if not by the letter, of this agreement. And that had continued to raise concerns. Israel, for years, has been flagging what the situation is.
John believes that the 5.2 was God putting Iran on notice. Now, that's an interesting concept there. I believe I'm more preview to believe it was weather warfare. I'm preview to believe what somebody else in the chat said when they said that all war tactics aren't just seen in missiles. Let me see. Somebody says to keep moving plates, they're going to fall to end of earth, free fall. Well, it's like we living in a movie right now. We are in a movie. This is like one of the most action-packed films that's out, and it's almost surreal. It's almost very surreal what we're seeing. We're seeing the world actually play Call of Duty right now. And we are already dealing with our own personal spiritual warfare. And some of us got some badges, and we got our badges, and we just going through this world trying to make it on the other side. And everything is falling in front of us. It's like we walking through the valley of shadow of death, but we ain't fearing no evil, but we are perplexed. It's like, man, this is perplexing times. Isaiah 17:14, and behold, an eveningtide trouble, and before the morning he is not. This is the portion of them that spoil us, and the lot of them that rob us, right? We're going to get back our just due through all this war. That's for sure.
But I think two things had happened, and I've heard this from Israeli officials. The two strikes that took place by Iran on Israeli soil and by Israel on Iranian soil last year were indicators to Israel that they were seeing things that were of grave concern to them, and that they felt that the window of opportunity was open.
We got 4 minutes till Trump addresses the nation about what he just did. 4 minutes. Kachia, thank you for the contribution. I appreciate y'all. And we almost also have 1,000 likes. So let's get that as well. Isaiah 54:16, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. Man, yep, Most High definitely, the Most High is definitely behind everything that happens in this world. But everything that happens is for the greater good of those who love him. Revelations 22:7. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he who keeps the words of the prophecy of this book. And that's what our main thing is. Keeping the word, staying set apart, walking upright, remaining long-suffering. Isaiah 17:1. The burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be in ruinous heaps. Yep, that's talking about Damascus. Roxanne, thank you for the $20 contribution. I appreciate your support. Man, y'all coming with them scriptures too. Isaiah 14:22. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord in hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant, and son and nephew, saith the Lord. Yep, Babylon will be cut off abruptly. Nini, thank you for the support. Yes, there is a very evil, unseen force on this earth. It really is. It really is. And we are in the last days. And prophecy is definitely unfolding.
Open, and that if they didn't act preemptively, then they could get to the point where it would be too late for them to respond. That's certainly what Israeli military and political officials will tell you here. So that is the situation. It is an important development. We've already seen some reaction from certainly the Iranian media, adverse reaction to America's role. Ayatollah Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, had already...
We are very close to having 1,000 likes on the stream. So just double tap the screen to get. It shows YouTube that not only Are you brothers and sisters checking in? But you're actually liking what you're seeing, right? Or hearing rather. Zephaniah 2 and 4. For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ascalon a desolation. They shall drive out Ashdod at the noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up. Yep, that scripture is definitely speaking about a war that took place. That was in the it actually already happened, but you can learn from these different wars. So I understand what you're trying to do. I understand what you're putting out there, but it's definitely speaking about something that happened historically. But history repeats itself. Nonetheless, let's continue.
Threatened retaliation against America if this took place. There is a lot of nervousness in the region. Here in Israel, for example, the American military has been evacuating American diplomats.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. We have over 1,000 likes on the broadcast. Thank y'all for y'all's eager support. Proverbs 17 and 15. He who justifies the wicked and he who condemns the righteous are both alike an abomination to the Lord. That's right. And we can't justify Trump's actions. We can't justify Trump sending unprovoked attacks towards Iran. I don't support it. And we have the right as American citizens to stand on what we believe, and we can be boisterous about that. And that's why we did a tally. We'll do another one. By ones, you don't support what Donald Trump is doing. By twos, you're in agreement with him attacking. We have to do these things because this is public. This is the court of public opinion. And that's more than necessary. If we don't support it, us as American citizens, we don't support it. Yeah, I see a lot of ones. I see a couple twos. It's not our war. And if I could just hone in for a second, Black folks, Native Americans, Hispanics, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, Jamaicans, Panamanians. Listen, Black folks, colored folks, or what we would call ethnic folks. We damn sure don't want nothing to do with y'all's wars. We don't want nothing to do with it. Haitians, the 12 tribes of Israel, the Israelites. We don't give a damn about y'all's war. We don't want to be involved. We already know y'all going to try to use us as cannon fodder. We ain't trying to be your cannon fodder. We was on the brink of World War III, and Black folks was celebrating Juneteenth. We don't care. Imagine that. Countdown to World War III, and Black folks was doing the electric slide. Anyway, let me go ahead and pull it up. Trump is live. Trump is live. So he's about to address the nation. We got to go there. Let's see. Which one? Oh, got it.
40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death.
Hold on, let's go back. I want to catch it from the beginning. I might have missed a minute or so. Hold on now. Oh, I'm okay. Here it goes. Let's go.
Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment.
Hold on, man. A highly destructive enterprise. We're going to really act like America's not a damn war machine. We're going to really act like the Western world ain't pillaged, destroyed, raped, stripped every one of their natural resources. We're going to really act like America ain't the Terminator. Man, Why is Trump the same color as his hair, bro? Like, what's going on here, bro? Why is he the same color as his hair, bro? It looked like he's wearing blackface. I can't do it with these people. Anyway, I ain't gonna keep interrupting. Let's go.
Capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been
How is this man's ears this big and he got shot with an AR-15 allegedly in the ears and ain't a chunk off of that joint? Why we don't? You mean to tell me he got hit in the ear with these big ass ears and we don't see no piece of flesh gone? I'm sorry, I just be noticing stuff, bro. Anyway, man, bad. Let's get to the news, man. Let's get to the news.
completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs.
They've been, they've been killing our people, blowing off their arms and blowing off their legs. Why are our people even over there? Let Israel deal with it. It's like those people that'll break in your house trying to steal from you. You pop off. And they like, yo, you shot me. Yeah, you just broke in my house. It's like, man, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. This ain't good.
That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisen-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days.
So Trump is doubling down, saying, look, if they don't step down and disappear, it's going to be even worse on Iran. I'm waiting to see what happens. And see, in a situation like this, the crazy thing is we don't know when the strike back comes. It could be when we least expect it. It could be years from now. So, like, this is one of them situations where you just don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know. This is why I always talk about getting right with God and just knowing how to live your life righteously, because you just don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, we definitely can prepare for $7 gas. That's for sure. Let's go.
Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far.
So he's saying that there's many targets left, which means he tried to say, look, there will be peace. And he hoped the soldiers don't have to do nothing. But listen to what he just said. This is a contradiction. He said there's many targets left. That means they don't have no intention of withdrawing from Iran.
Most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight. Not even close. There's never been a military that could do what took.
America is very, very proud. Very proud. You know what the scriptures say? Pride come before the fall. Pride come before the fall.
Place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our...
What God are you talking about? He ain't talking about the God of the Bible. He's talking about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We love you, God. Now he's talking about the God of this world, Satan.
Great military, protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
That was a quick speech. I got another source I want to go to very, very briefly. You know, he said very little. He didn't say much. He just kind of kept it cordial as possible. He's letting you know that they don't have no intentions of letting up. Let me see. I think I had. Is that in? Let me see. I'm going to X. Let me check this. See if I got that there. Oh no. Hold on real quick, y'all. Hold on real quick. Oh snap, y'all. Not gonna believe this. Iran responded. Iran responded. Iran responded, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. I believed he responded. Hold on. Hold on real quick. Let me just make sure.
The U.S. military made...
Make sure I'm right real quick. I believe Iran responded, but let me see if I can confirm that.
But we are pursuing them.
On Tuesday, the son of the late Shah, Reza Pahlavi...
Nah, y'all right. It might come later tonight. It may come later tonight. But I want to just backtrack for a second here. No, I had got an email, I had got a message, and I thought, so I'm not trying to give y'all false information. I literally thought, y'all gotta understand, I get sources all day.
U.S. military intervention.
It's in the region that the United
CBS
protection. This is
Oh, when Iran responds, you already know that I'll be back. Perhaps not tonight, but y'all know when it comes to what's going on, I've been giving y'all a play-by-play, blow-by-blow. Like this is yeah, I've been giving a play-by-play like this is ESPN highlights. But anyway, nonetheless, brothers and sisters, let me see. Brothers and sisters, always an honor and a blessing to build with y'all, man. Hey, let's stay prayed up. Let's stay up in the truth. Let's stay aware of what's going on, what's happening in the world. And, fear not, and just continue persevering in your own personal life. And regardless of what's going on in the world, regardless what's going on in the world, look out for you and your household. Hold on real quick. Oh, snap. There is a response. There is a response. Hold on. I don't know how to find that, though. To the person sending me that source, it would be easier for the email because I'm using my phone. But if you send that to my email, I can share it on the screen to everybody viewing. My email is kingbreed404@gmail.com. kingbreed404@gmail.com. And I can get that real quick. Cause y'all not gonna believe this. What Iran just said, bro. I'm telling you, I get the sources, man. I get the sources. Hold on. Hold on. All right, I'm looking now. Let me get that. Okay. Wow. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, from Iran, Iranian Revolutionary Guard. The U.S. must await, and mind you, ladies and gentlemen, this is their burner account. This is the Iranian burner account. Iranian Revolutionary Guard. The U.S. must await severe punishment. We will target all American interests in the Middle East, period. 2.5 million views. 2.5 million views. So it's on. And I'm hearing people talking about that they missed, that they didn't get what they were looking for. Somebody, I seen Born Row in the chat. Provide me that source. Y'all gotta, because look, there's a lot of live updates. Y'all gotta, when you tell me something, tell me the source. We going right there so I can confirm it. And salute the brother Born Row. Y'all make sure y'all follow, subscribe to that brother. Yeah, because I seen Born Row. He has a good channel. He says that Iran said that they already they didn't move the goods already. Yo, this is escalating quick. 1973, sister 1973, thank you for the support. Armageddon, yep. World War III is here. All right, so I need that source too. Somebody said, you actually think the U.S. would have missed? I do. I do. Hold on. I do believe they missed. I believe they missed. I mean, Iran. The U.S. must await severe punishment. We will target all American interests in the Middle East, because y'all got to understand. This is what happens next. All right, so America has bases around Iran. This is what they do. Iran is saying hey, now that it's on, anybody close to us, we're going to war with. So at least for the next couple of weeks, you're gonna be seeing a war going on in Iran with the bases that surround Iran, and they got home base. They got a home turf advantage. They got a home turf advantage. So you're going to be seeing those bases get hit. That's Iran's response. That's their response, that that the war is on. Now, so if you're wondering if we at war with Iran, America's officially at war. They're officially at war. And if they can manage to get rid of, and this is how I see it, and I think Iran will more than likely be successful in disarming or getting the US bases to flee. And then we got to worry about the West Coast. But all this is going to take some time. This is the war that they did not want. This is what I'm talking about. They do not want a ground attack. They do not want a ground war, guerrilla warfare with Iran. They don't want that. They're going to lose that. They're going to lose that. Oh, and to be clear, when I listen, no, there was a burner account where the thing came through. I misread that, y'all. So when I said it was a burner account, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean Iran was a burner account. This is from Iran, ladies and gentlemen. This is from Iran. Iran Revolutionary Guard. This is directly from the Iran Revolutionary Guard. The U.S. must await severe punishment. We will target all American interests in the Middle East. So it's going down. It's going down. It's going down. Hold on. Let's go. This is the beginning, y'all. So the military bases that surrounding the Middle East, any interest, it says interest in the Middle East, any American bases in the Middle East are now targets. They're now targets. Jordan Anthony says U.S. at war, all while trying to get illegals out of, all while the economies are crashing and prices going up and people losing jobs. Gotta love it. I'm telling you. Now we at war with Iran, bro. You got to be kidding me. And guess what? The Middle East have allies. So this is not just Iran that's talking. This right here is not just Iran talking. Let me say this again, y'all. This right here is not just Iran. I got another email, man. Let me pull something else up for y'all, man. I got more. Hold on, let me get this. I have to download that. Hey, only over here at Nubreed Global Truth, we're gonna keep you informed, right? You're getting real live updates. Peep this.
Iran has announced basically that every American is a target right now on their state television.
And it does appear that at the moment, there has been a significant statement by the Iranian state television that every American in the area, civilian or soldier, is currently a target of the Iranian government, and they will most likely be striking and attacking, most likely here while we're live on air, possibly, against U.S. military forces and citizens in the region. We can also expect at this moment that the al-Najaba militia inside of Iraq, the Yemeni Houthis in western Yemen, Hezbollah inside of Lebanon, and the...
Trump, you don't know what the F you did. Trump don't know what he just did. This right here is the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of the end for Babylon. Trump screwed up. All the military bases in the Middle East right now are a target, and they're not just a target by Iran. And once they can disarm the bases surrounding, all of the surrounding bases in the Middle East, it's on. It's on. The war's here.
Iran has announced basically that every American is a target right now on their state television.
And it does appear that at the moment, there has been a significant statement by the Iranian state television that every American in the area, civilian or soldier, is currently a target of the Iranian government, and they will most likely be striking and attacking, most likely here while we're live on air, possibly, against U.S. military forces and citizens in the region. We can also expect at this moment that the al-Najaba militia inside of Iraq, the Yemeni Houthis in western Yemen, Hezbollah inside of Lebanon, and the...
Yeah, it's on. It's on. I mean, what can I say? The war is here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, is the time where, you know, we understand how close we are in prophecy. America's going down. You know, they made a crucial mistake. They think that they only dealing with Iran, but no. They got a lot of support. Now, when they say that any bases in the Middle East, that means they have the whole Middle East. The Middle East is huge. Those troops, those soldiers can get attacked at any moment. Those people in those bases who were just set up years ago, there's people who haven't had any combat. These people who haven't had any combat, who just been there doing surveillance work, we're going to be seeing those people get blown off the map. They don't have no, you know why? Because they don't have no business being over there. They don't have no business being in the Middle East in the first place. Oh man, this is what it is, man. I just thought that I'd come through and keep y'all informed. Hopefully that, you know, you brothers and sisters stay on point. You know, if you got family members who want to join the military right now, sheesh, talk them out of it. Brothers and sisters, if your sons and daughters like, hey, pops, I want to join the Air Force. I want to join this. I want nah, son. We can figure something else out. Sons and daughters. Yep. 3, you're right. If Iran has been on guard, then any U.S. interest has probably already been a target. Yeah, absolutely. You know, Iran already knew that America was opposition. They knew it already. They knew it from the very beginning. They knew it when they start trying to nestle their way close to Iran, when they start going after Iraq. You know, America has a track record of destroying Middle Eastern kings or not kings, well, leadership. They've been trying to destabilize those people, but they're dealing with the wrong people. They're dealing with the wrong people. You living in listen, America's godless. That's how I know we don't have no protection. Because when you take God out of a society, you don't have no protection. Regardless of Donald Trump talking about, and we thank God, and God, no, America don't have God. You can look at Christianity right now, it's destroyed. Glorilla won a gospel award. She got the #1 gospel award. Kurt Franklin twerks for a living. Like God in America, the Christian church is destroyed. What the hell? Listen, at least those Muslims or those Islamic people, they believe in their God. I mean, they finna die for their God. Like America don't have God, so there's no protection on America. America's just one big coochie that's waiting to get screwed. Excuse my language. World War III is going on, and people talking about P. Diddy. Like America's not ready, bro. We on the cusp of World War III, and people worried about who Tyler Perry groped. I'm telling you. Did you know Tyler Perry got a lawsuit? Because, you know, although he been cross-dressing for the last 30 years, none of us knew that he might be, you know, gay. It's like, is that news? Tyler Perry groped somebody for a movie role? Is that news to y'all? He only been wearing dresses for 30 years. I mean, like, how is this stuff news? The Boondocks been told you what he was on. Did you know Diddy? Did you know? Let me tell you. And I'm making fun of this stuff because that's what America worries about. All distractions. You got the jurors in the courthouse watching the Diddy tapes. They in there watching corn. They sitting up in the. This is what America's doing right now. Sitting in a damn courthouse with a federal charge. We talking about a federal indictment with a bunch of people looking at another man's personal corn tapes. And you think America's ready to go to war? That's what's going on in our media. That's what's going on in our media. I'm telling you, man, America been off the rails. We talking about going to war? We living in a country where the girls don't know they girls and the boys don't know they boys. We living in a country where people don't have the bare minimal understanding. And we talking about going to war. No, no, no. America's not ready for war, man. And it just hit the fan. I told y'all at the beginning of all of this. I told y'all at the beginning of all of this that America was going to go to war with Iran, that they already in war with Iran. Let me see. Let me see. Somebody says, okay, I'm in the Army and we getting told it's not looking good for us. Really? What? Wow. So there's a brother in the chat that's in the Army. He says it ain't looking good. And everybody, if you're watching this broadcast, do me a solid, get the likes up on the video. You know, dang, we have a lot of likes. We're doing very good with that. You know, my platform is on the brink of reaching 200,000 subscribers. And we can very well get there tonight based on y'all's support. So share as well. Yeah, for those just joining, yeah, if you haven't caught the news, America has bombed 3 facilities, nuclear facilities in Iran, and now Iran responds.
Iran has announced basically that every American is a target right now on their state television.
And it does appear that at the moment, there has been a significant statement by the Iranian state television that every American in the area, civilian or soldier, is currently a target of the Iranian government, and they will most likely be striking and attacking, most likely here while we're live on air, possibly, against U.S. military forces and citizens in the region. We can also expect at this moment that the Al-Najaba militia inside of Iraq, the Yemeni Houthis in western Yemen, Hezbollah inside of Lebanon, and the...
Wow. Hey, so all those bases in the Middle East are a target, and they ain't gonna know hit. Imagine being in the middle of the desert on flat land, and you've been posted there. You don't have no combat experience in years because you've been there. It's like you just a damn sitting duck. They are a sitting duck, and here's the irony of it, brothers and sisters. On a ground war, they cannot beat them. They can't do it. They can't do it, bruh. Even when, because what's going to happen next? Now we can pretty much tell. We could just pretty much tell you what's going to happen next, right? They get rid of all of the military bases, or they attack them. They start bombing. That can happen any minute now. They start bombing all of the American set up bases in the Middle East. America's going to be forced to deploy troops. Ladies and gentlemen, the military is going to draft. There's going to be a draft. And once they draft, they are going to get destroyed. Whoever gets in that draft, whoever has to go over there are going to be in a bad place. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Why? Because the Middle Easterns, they fight an asymmetrical war style. It's unpredictable. They will blow themselves up. They don't care. Americans are not built like that. They're not. We are more strong in the air than on the ground. We are not built for guerrilla warfare, y'all. That's why we could not beat Iraq. And now Gog and Magog is finna get involved. Somebody said draft ? Stop fear mongering. Listen, I'm only telling you what can happen, the possibilities. They attack every base in the Middle East. America has no choice but to deploy troops. But here's the issue. Nobody is in the military like they used to be. Guess what? People don't want to be in the military like they used to be. So you have to do what? Eventually, you will have to do a draft. You deploy the soldiers you can deploy. They get dragged. And then you will have to draft people. You will have to force them. And I'm only talking about what's possible here. Somebody says, man, the chat is moving really quick. Somebody says, y'all stop trying to bother. Y'all stop trying my brother Breed. He gives you the blood raw. Yeah, man, I'm just telling y'all what it is, man. We got to look at what's happening. Yep, Kid Life said I came to the same prediction. Yeah, it's Esau versus Ishmael, man. Let me see. Somebody said, let me see. Somebody says, this guy's looking for clout. All right, stop spamming, Rod. Stop spamming. Then I have to time you out. You repeated that several times. I seen the message the first 37 times you put it. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. That's what's happening right now. America's not finna escape what's coming. Trump bombed these people and said, look, now we're going to have peace. No, you're wrong. The next series of events is going to shock the world. It's going to shock the world. And you know what the scriptures say? They're going to say, Babylon the Great, she's fallen. She's fallen. The whole world is going to marvel at the fact that, wow, America's not the superpower we thought it was. America is not as bold and strong as we thought it was. The one who proclaimed to be the eagle. Somebody share that scripture. The one who lifteth theirself up as the eagle. Share what the scriptures say about that. Somebody says that's what you're hoping for. Yes. I hope America gets blown off the face of the planet after the Most High's people are secured. This place is evil. They enslaved my ancestors. They've inordinately incarcerated my people. And yeah, if I'm speaking directly to you, I don't care. I was trying to stay on for the 2-hour mark, y'all, but my phone about to die, so I'm gonna have to cut this one a little bit short. I don't even know what my charger is right now. So yeah, before this thing completely dies, let me and look, there we go. Let me read that. Obadiah 1:4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Yeah, they way up in the stars. They high-minded. They exalt themselves as the eagle. The American eagle will be landing soon. Anyway, I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all be blessed out here. More material coming. Y'all stay safe, stay prayed up, stay in the faith. With that being said, shalom. And my wife says she can bring my charger. What y'all think? Y'all want to double tap? You gotta be quick. You gotta be quick, babe. Cause this thing, when this thing hit 5%, that thing is gone.
Okay, I got it.
All right.
Oh wait, here, take this one.
Look, somebody said bring that charger.
I was trying to plug it into the wall.
That's why I need the 10-foot one.
All right, I'll go look for that one.
Somebody said the wife is the MVP.
I'll go get the 10-foot one in just.
Yeah, the 10-foot one. Oh, the 10-foot blue one doesn't work.
Yeah, but there's another one. Give me just a moment.
Yeah, the 10-foot black one. Okay. Yeah, thank you. She got it charging, but I got limited reach because I got it. Actually, this one works.
It's good?
Yes.
Long enough?
It's long enough, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. But man, like as I was saying, because I wanted to give y'all a full 2 hour. And I'm enjoying reading y'all's comments because y'all are very, very much educated. And I love to critically think with y'all. Like we trying to figure out what's going on. We guesstimating what's to happen next. But I do want to revisit that person's question about do I want America to be destroyed? Because people be like, well, Breed, the way you talk about this is like you just don't care. Like you on the other side. Well, there's a scripture I want somebody to share where it says, give Babylon double what she gave you. It's a scripture. If y'all can post that for me, give Babylon double of what she gave you. And then I got to explain this to you. This Roman Empire is drunk with the blood of the saints. This Roman Empire is drunk with the blood of our ancestors. I cannot describe in words the feeling that I have for the captivity we went through. And I know that the end of their reign, the end of their era is the birth of a new era. And I understand that. And I know that prophetically speaking, the Most High will deliver his people. And he have not forsaken us. That's right, Sister 1973, Revelations 18:6. It states, give back to her as she has given. Pay her back double for what she has done. Mix her a double portion for her own cup. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. That means all of the hate, all of the destruction she gave us, we got to keep that energy. When Most High start judging, we got to keep the same energy. We got to keep the same energy, bruh. Double is double. And guess what? Double, that's not saying that you can't get more. The Most High saying at minimal, give her double what she did to you. If you want to give 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. Most High said, give her double. That's the bare minimum. You can give her 10 times what she gave us. Most High, like, don't give her no less than double what she did to y'all. And that's the type of energy I carry. When I think about the transatlantic slave trade, when I think about what has happened to our ancestors, when I think about how we've been disenfranchised, when I think about the fact they used our children as gator bait, when I think about the fact every time we tried to rise up and build for ourselves, they came and destroyed it. And Black Wall Street is not the only place they destroyed. There's been many times that we've built our own communities. There's been many times throughout history where we came together and put our money together. And every time they destroyed us. And nowadays, listen, it's so much fear that when we try to come together, our own people would destroy it. That's how successful they've been with breaking our people, that we don't even desire freedom no more. I hate that. So much so that out of fear, our own people would turn on us. That's the psychological damage that they done. They done all these experiments on our people. Ladies and gentlemen, I still feel like I'm being experimented on based on what happened to my ancestors. It's like we are in a matrix and we're not even here. We here, but we're not even here. If you ask me why I say what I say and act how I act, because I'm detached from the world. I'm not here. Yes, I'm physically here, but spiritually, spiritually, a lot of us feel like we're not even in this. Lord, do what you want to do with it. Father, take the wheel, judge the nations, usher in a new earth, usher in a new kingdom. We're not happy here. I can see what life's supposed to be, and this ain't it. I should be able to go outside and pick fruits off of my own trees. I should be able to be in a world where my children can go outside and play, and I don't have to worry about somebody snatching them up. Children can't even be children no more, bruh. This world is wicked as hell. We are in hell, y'all. And you think I care about something blowing the hell up? All of our culture has been taken from us. We're in a world where the women rule the men. We're in a world where young men are being constantly emasculated. Nobody knows their true identity and true culture. You think that I want to be in this? No. If the Most High want to blow up Babylon and set us free and usher in a new era, then it is what it is. So when you hear me talking about this, it's not from a point of view as I'm being scared. No, prophecy is jumping off the page, and let the Lord do double, at least double of what she did to our people. Why? Because the Bible says her iniquities have reached unto heaven. That's what the scriptures say. Her iniquities have reached to heaven. And the Most High sees the evil here. Proverbs 15:23. It reads, a man have joy by the answer of his mouth, and the word spoken in due season. How good it is. Right. LD says, Nubreed, you just articulated what I can never explain how I feel. Man, all praises to the Most High for giving me the utterance. Because our people, one thing that we extremely tired of is our potential being held back. Ladies and gentlemen, they're stopping our potential. All us grown men and grown women out here who have all these great skills, all these talents, all this righteousness, all this light, they're suppressing it. Do you know what it does to a lion when you sit up there and you contain it? When you stop its purpose? When you take a lion and you put it in a cage and out of his natural habitat, imagine the pain that lion is going through. We're talking about king of the jungle. We talking about king of the jungle taken out of his natural habitat. Imagine what that lion goes through psychologically. No, ladies and gentlemen, this ain't normal. And they taking us out of our habitat. So whatever it takes for the Most High to release us from this captivity, so be it. So be it. Anyway, with that being said, man, I love each and every one of y'all, man. It's been a very spirit-filled broadcast. Of course, I got more material coming for you brothers and sisters who are new to the platform. Make sure you subscribe and share this material everywhere. You have to be very active with checking me daily. A lot of the times on this platform, I'll keep it a buck with you. They don't send notifications. All right. So every channel is built different. This one, they don't send notifications. So what you would need to do is actually check me daily. My favorite time to stream is around 3:30 p.m. All right. 3:30 in the afternoon is like prime time. That's normally when I'm actually streaming. And I also do streams, at nighttime. If it's not at 3, check me out around 9:30, 10 o'clock. You have to go check me to see if I'm live. Now I'm going to close with this. King Connect, Revelations 18 and 19. And it says, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, the great city in when we were made rich. All their ships, all of it is past. And that's what's going to happen. By reason of the costliness, for in 1 hour she is made desolate. Rejoice over her. thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, and God have avenged you on her. Wow. 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 We supposed to be rejoicing, saying, alas, alas, tear down the great harlot. So if you wonder why we got this type of energy, God's people are rejoicing. And we're not afraid. The Most High is already protecting his people. The Most High, listen, we're in a point in time where the Most High will hit the right people that he's trying to hit. Meanwhile, he's just shifting us out. It may come a time here in America where it looks like the purge out here, and the Holy Spirit is just leading us out. It'll be certain cities on fire. We in our cars, it's going to get action-packed. It's going to get action-packed. I hope y'all ready for some action, because it's going to get there. Most High will be helping us navigate and flee from one place to the next. It's going to get to that. So all that uncertainty we got, that people harbor around, listen, you need to embrace that uncertainty, because it's going to get more uncertain. You need to be ready to have a day bag, pack up, move, leave. You worried about a job, you worried about rent. It's going to come a time, it ain't no damn rent. Whole system going to shut down. Total blackout. It's going to be about survival. Not about paying your damn rent on time or paying this bill or that. You ain't going to be worried about none of that. Everything going to be shut down. This going to happen in increments. But anyway, all praises to the Creator. Somebody said deep breaths, my friend. I get hyped. I get hyped. Passionate about this word. Anyway, nonetheless, man, y'all be blessed out here. I'm about to spend some time with the family, man. Y'all be safe out here. One love to y'all. Have a good one. With that being said, shalom. Peace.